And what's the biggest win that you've seen using experimentation or lean startup?
Help customers in energy develop a new product, and their lead time was a number of years. And actually, every time they developed a product for the customers, it would take thousands and thousands of engineering hours to develop these products. So working through what the customer needed and the different features and options, we developed a range of options there and explored that and created a category of different features the customer could pull on. And then that actually reduced the product development time by about 50%, taking that down to, I think it was about 18 months, and reducing the engineering hours for every order by thousands. They stripped thousands out of that, and they used the engineers' time for configuring to order design work for real product development for the new generation of products.
The biggest win in my own experience was once where I was working with an organization that did a lot of work with bereaved families, and the demand on their services was enormous. Trying to onboard more staff seemed to take them forever, and it took them 2 years to train them up, and they just couldn't meet the demand. And I eventually got called in because it was something's got to give, something's got to change. And we went through a number of different ways of approaching things, just saying if you had to start from scratch, what would you do? What if you came at it another way? What if we tried something completely different? And suddenly someone came up with an idea and people went, okay, let's go for that. And they cut back a 2-year lead-in time to being able to do this work down to 4 months. And it just transformed the organization. The outcomes for the families was huge. I always wear that one with pride, that actually it wasn't me, that I facilitated them to do that. It's just trying to build on that sort of practice.
I think it is that de-risking element. So by making sure that actually putting all your assumptions on a page, seeing exactly what you need to validate and when, what's the most important thing to find out initially, helps you keep some stage walking in the right direction instead of running in the wrong one. But also, if you find out a problem isn't worth solving, actually killing things that needs the organization.
So give us a really concrete example. When did that happen and what did that look like? What was the kind of product?
So we looked at building a Scope 3 carbon reporting tool where we went through a few different phases. What's the problem to solve from the sustainability experts and organizations that we want to solve for them. Validated the solution that people said they were very interested in it. Actually started building different concepts. But then when we got to the point of actually once trying to get into space here, that's where I kind of fell down. This has worked quite ready at that point of time. So yeah, we had the kind of strength of will, I suppose, to decide not to yield.
So definitely one of the biggest wins was a financial services client. We were helping them implement some data products, and then within that, specifically by actually working with customers, taking through the customer development process and building a side with them, we found out that actually there are certain features that they really wanted us to do, rather than us trying to boil the ocean and build out in such a huge scalable fashion, instead focusing just on the features we sell past products.
Actually, we designed a course on leadership in one of my roles as head of innovation. And this was about entrepreneurial governance, really, and helping leadership understand what they needed to be doing. Like we basically just put an email out to some of the senior leaders that we already knew well, just to see if there would be interest and appetite in this. Got, kind of hands up. Yeah, I'd be interested in that. We arranged like a half-day session with them and just ran it with them as a sort of first pilot to understand like what worked and what didn't and what value they got from it. And what we were looking to see was like what recommendations did we get, how many like recommended it to another colleague, and then how many more people would sort of want to sign up for something like that before we continue to develop the content around it. So that worked really well. Got that initial feedback, and developed the content much further in a much more professional way and sort of to scale it.
So of course, one of the biggest wins for myself is being able to find out feedback from customers in terms of the programs that we run, and then change the programs or adapt the programs depending on the outcomes that they're given to us.